So hello everyone, welcome back to the video of ICT coding. So in this video, I want to continue to make our T-Rex runner game, or commonly known as the Chrome Dinosaur game. So this is going to be the second part of the game where in the first part, I had done the basics. So this is the second part where I need to do more about the game. I need to go actually to the game mechanics. So we will talk about this, and without any delay, let's begin the video. So this is where I leave at the end of the first video. So this is, if this looks at all like a T-Rex, so if I zoom this here, okay. So this is what my T-Rex, this green box or rectangle is. When I press my space key, this rectangle just jumps just like the Chrome Dinosaur T-Rex and just comes like this. But the idea is, the problem which comes here is that this T-Rex right here is jumping like this. So it is just jumping sort of in the air. That means it is not like it is jumping and then I'm clicking, it is again jumping. The idea is that it keeps on jumping like this. So each time I press the space key, it keeps on jumping. But if I were to show you the original game, so this is the original game. So if you can see that this dinosaur just jumps only once. As you can see, the dinosaur jumps only once. And so because the thing is that even when I press my space key a large number or repeated number of times, the T-Rex still jumps. Just we need to do the similar thing for this T-Rex because it actually keeps on jumping again and again. So easy way to fix this will be just have a boolean variable called this.jump. So this boolean variable is going to keep a check of whether I'm originally jumping or not, and this boolean variable should be set to false. So I will write in the jump that if this dot jump, that means if this dot jump is equals to false, that means I have not already jumped. If I have not jumped once, only then can I jump again. And in this case, if this happens, I'm going to do that, and then I want to set this dot jump to true. That means if I jump, I have already jumped. That's a simple equation. And in the update function, so here if the T-Rex has this if statement basically checks, if I add a comment, it checks if the T-Rex or if the dino has landed on the base. So if the dino has landed on the base, so that is checked by this if statement. So otherwise, so when this, so what is this if statement telling? So it is checking if the dinosaur is still in the air. This part checks if the dinosaur is still in the air. So otherwise, when it has touched the base, I can say that this dot jump becomes false. That means if I have touched the base, that means I am no longer in the jumping position. So this should work fine. So now you can see that the T-Rex is just going to jump on one. So I've clicked the space key once, it jumps and comes. But if I press it again and again, also then you can see that a T-Rex has to jump just once. It cannot just flip up and down in the air. So that bug is fixed. But the basic idea of this video is, to have some kind of cactuses coming from that side. So that is what we need to do. So an idea of that is done using arrays. So I will have to have an array of clouds. So let's try to have another file. Let's call it cloud.js. So I'm going to have the clouds. You see the game, some clouds come from that side to this side. So the idea of the cloud is going to be very, very similar to that of the cactuses. Now I could use inheritance. I could have a common class, and then I could inherit the others based on that. But we have not learned inheritance yet, so I think it will be better to have individual classes. So let's have a class called cloud. So I will have a constructor. The constructor of x, y, width and height, same ones, and then just write this dot x is equals x, this dot y is equals y, this dot h is equals h. So the constructor for now is done, and I will have to have a velocity for the cloud as well. Now this goes in a single direction from the right to the left. That means I just need to have a single velocity like this dot velocity, which is -5. Let's say -5, just an arbitrary number. Then have the display function, and the clouds are just going to be ellipses. So fill let's say another color like black, and then with a lot of alpha fill this, no stroke, then just an ellipse, and I will have an ellipse of this dot x, this dot y, this dot w, and this dot h. Oh, alright. And we will have an update function similarly, update, and in the update function this dot x plus equal this dot velocity. So this is fine as well. So now in the sketch.js I just need a cloud, let cloud which is just a variable. So cloud is a new cloud, and that cloud is, let's say, at width, because by direct ellipse it is an ellipse, right? Alright, that's an ellipse. So ellipse mode becomes corner. So that if I wanted to generate exactly from the width, so I need to write width plus, let's have let's have a variable for that, cloud width. The height is going to be fixed, so let's just check the cloud width, which is for now will be 70. I think I will change that, so that will be cloud width divided by 2. The height will be just an arbitrary number, let's say 30 up in the top. Then we will have a cloud width which is the variable, and then the height will just be 20, or let's just change it to 30. So this is my cloud, and then in the function draw I just need to check, say cloud dot update and cloud dot display. Let's see what do you, okay, I have not added the file in the index.html file, so let's do that very quickly. File name is cloud.js, and then okay, still an error. I refresh this. Okay, so you can see this is my cloud. You can see the cloud just move in that direction. So let me just here, let's have a stroke so that you can see in a better way. So let's have a stroke of 50. Oh no, stroke. Let's have a stroke of 50. So you can say this is just our cloud, and the alpha should be a little lesser, that means transparency should be less. So yeah, so you can see that is our cloud, and I think the velocity is too much for a normal cloud. Cloud generally moves slowly, so this should be the idea now. So the cloud is not actually, if you see, the cloud is not actually moving that direction. My T-Rex is actually continuously running and jumping. So that should be the basic idea, and for that reason let's refresh this once. So for that reason I feel that it will be much better if the T-Rex, the speed in which I want T-Rex to run, that is the cloud's velocity. So it should actually be 5. That's fine actually. So this should be the actual way. Now if you see from here, you can see, I will observe that a T-Rex is looking at the T-Rex actually running and jumping. So and this is done. Now we need to have an array of clouds. So I will not use this anymore. I will need a array variable of clouds. In the function setup, I will write that cloud. Okay, the spelling of cloud is wrong. I just noticed that. Whoa. Okay. The spelling should be what is the spelling of cloud? Okay, spelling is right. I'm becoming too overexcited. The spelling written is quite nice. It's right. Okay, so I need that cloud.push new cloud. So just add a single cloud to the clouds array. And then here it's very simple. I will use a for of loop, and let's say that C of clouds for let's see of clouds, cloud dot c dot update c dot show. So I should see pretty much the same result if I refresh this. All right, but now over and over again in the function draw, I want to say if frame count, which is a p5 variable, modulus 60 is equal 0 in this case. In this case, I want to add a new cloud. Copy this. I want to add a new cloud right here. So, and then I've pushed that cloud right there. So if I see run this now, you can see that I get repeated number of clouds being drawn again and again. And this is more like looking at the T-Rex is actually running. So you can get that sort of feel using this. But the thing is, the clouds should be more and more randomized. So the Y actually should be a random number. Let's say random number between 10 and 35, let's say. So now you're going to see, okay, alright, but notice that I think I should do one thing, that let's decrease the width and height. So the height will down just be 20 and the width will just change to 50. So the cloud will be much smaller. So now and the first one will change as well. So this will be 20. So now I think it looks more like clouds, to be honest. And so you can see that the Y is actually a bit randomized. They're not all coming in the same fashion. And so this is pretty much it. So I need to do a similar thing. A similar thing has to be done for the cactuses as well. So let's have a new file. And actually, I pretty much should not have a new file. It just should be a cactus. Okay. It's a cactus. So a class, I will just copy whatever, as I said, it's pretty much similar. So I will just copy whatever I have in the cloud file. So this will just change to cactus. The instructor will be the same. Velocity is going to change because the clouds are something which already moved into the air, and the cactus is something which is actually fixed. So the velocity will be a bit different. That will be comparatively lesser or more according to the direction in which you want to consider. Let's have 6. Then all is fine. The cactuses, however, should have a color which is more towards blacker, but it's still green. It is still green, so that should be 150 and 0. That should be the fill, and the cactuses should have. That's why you said I should have sort of what to say, general class and then inheritance. But for now, I'm fine with that, and I should write no stroke. This will in turn be a rectangle at this position. So this is all about the cactus class actually. So let's have a similar array. Let's have a similar array for cactuses. And I will have width and height for the cactus as well. So let's cactus width is equal something. I have not defined that yet. And let cactus height equal to something. I don't know that as well. This is yeah. So yeah, that's fine. Then initially I do not want anything to be inserted, but as soon as the frame count modular. So this is basically the frequency, and I should have this a random number as well. The frequency number that should be, let's say, a random number between 40 and 60. And now for just for the clouds, you can see that the modulus random 40 to 60. What's wrong here? Okay. That should be float. Yeah, I was wrong because the frame count is an integer, so it is never going to actually come. So round up this number, and then you can see that I get clouds, but at different frequencies. So not so frequent. So I think I should just change this to 60 and 80. Not so frequent. Okay. So now you can see I get a more cloud-like. 80 is again too much. 70 is better. Okay. So now you can see that I get a more cloud-like randomized feel with the help of this. So as I was telling, that let's have the cactuses as well. So the cactuses also are going to be generated randomly. So I have a similar statement that cactuses dot push. That means add a cactus a new cactus. Okay, the cactus and the constructor then. Okay, the constructor will contain the width, and the width will be the same. Copy this. The width is going to be exactly the same thing. All right. The height in turn will be, let's say, okay, the base y, what was this? Okay, this will be the base y variable. It will be the base y variable. Base y. The width will be a random. Width will be a cloud w, and cloud height. Now I will have to define those variables first. So let's have two variables. Let's say that cloud width is equals random. So I will have a random width which will not be too much though. It will be ranging between 10, not 10 pixels, 5 pixels to 15 pixels, a random number. And for the safety, I don't know what I mean, but let's just round that as well. I do not want any decimal values. Then let's have a similar thing for cloud height as well. However, the height will be comparatively more, so that will be 25 to sort of 35. I'm just putting arbitrary numbers. So then for copy this loop as well. For let cact of cactuses, I want the cact to be updated and the cact to be shown. Let's see what we've got, and I will definitely add the file to my HTML. Okay, oops, yeah, I will have the file in my HTML. It will be named cactus.js. So let's see what we've got after this. So okay, I'm phasing out a bit actually. Okay, something is definitely wrong. Wait. So why did my clouds just go out of the way? Oh, there should be cactus. Oh no. Oh. There should be cactus width and cactus height. Alright. Let's see it now. Okay. What's wrong here? Again, the clouds. Okay. A cactus, a random number, a cloud width. Okay, and this should be cactus W, and this should be cactus H. Alright, for the clouds, that's fine. Clouds are fine, but the cactuses are going out of the screen. So the reason is, I forgot that this should be base y minus cactus H. Now we will be able to see the cactuses. Yes. So now this is pretty much the game. It is very underdeveloped, as you can see. The cactuses are like coming like anything, and this is more like invincible sort of thing. But I will first have to optimize this thing, because the clouds are right. Two clouds can overlap between each other. That's pretty much right. But for the cactuses, for the game point of view, this is pretty much difficult to play. So with a frame count modulus, so I will have a separate if statement for the cactuses. So if frame count, and I will have a fixed number for now. Frame count modulus 60. Let's see what it gives us. Equals this. Then frame count modulus this is 0. Then just do this for the cactus. So copy this bit of code, or just cut this bit of code and just insert this here. Forget this, and this is all right. So now the cactuses are more likely going to come at regular intervals, which is, I think, the most expected. And just one thing which I can do is just change this to very slight deviations, which is random. Let's see, 58 to 63. I mean, not more than this, and round the number. So I hope that this should be more genuine. Okay, the clouds are coming like clusters, but now this is the long gap. Well, I mean, I don't think this is a good idea to do, because now you can see a lot of cactus. No, this is wrong. it's fine at 63 or 60. It's pretty much fine here. So this is just it. So this is the basic scenario. So the dinosaur is jumping again and again over these cactuses, and the thing is that whenever a dinosaur actually collides with any one of these cactuses, the game should just be over. So first let's have that collide function. We will need, I think, that in the dino.js, because dino is going to collide with many other things. So collide, and this is the old-fashioned way of doing this. Collide, I give an argument object, and then if you have seen my previous video about rectangle collisions, I think it should be very much clear to you what we are just needed to do. So this is pretty much the function collide, which checks the collision between two given coordinates. Now I'm going to use this exact function. I do not want to figure this again and again. So if you sort of want to see this, so it will be very much advisable that you watch this video. I will definitely give the link in the description. So let's try to implement this. So I'm going to just copy this thing. Just copy this. All right. So in our dino file, then let's just insert this if condition. Now I need these variables, which is y2, x1, and all these things. And this is x1, y1, x2. So there are all these variables. So let's have let x1, let x2. What are these things which I need? Let y1, let y2, let w1, let w2. And let height as well, I guess. Okay, just consider w. Okay, yeah. The thing is, I will need let h1 and let h2. Alright. So let's write these variables. So this dot x1, let x1 should be this dot x, x2 should be obj dot x. So this is the idea. So I am accessing the x of my dino class and the obj of any other object, and that I'm putting as separate variables. Then I just can do the similar thing for all the others as this obj dot y, and then for all the others this dot w, this should be obj dot w, this should be this dot h, and this should be obj dot h. And then here, so as I can see that I need to change, all these are based on width, but the y should go with height. So let's change these to just height. Alright, and alright. So now this should pretty much work. So let's do something like, if T-Rex, that is my dino, collides with the cat, if this thing happens, then just no loop. So let's just stop the game. Okay, whoops, it's already stopped. Okay, it's stopping whenever the T-Rex is when the cactus is spawning. What might be the error? Okay, a function name. This is okay. This is basically collide. So as soon as the function is getting called, okay. Now I'm fine and good. I'm jumping. As soon as I collide, okay. As soon as I collide, the game gets over. So, okay. As soon as I collide, the game gets over. Now you might say, but this becomes a narrow escape. The previous one, if I see, so this became a sort of narrow escape. So this thing, I could just rectify this. There might be some little bit of glitch here, but I think it will be worth to keep this problem alive, because whenever I add images, then the image is not going to exactly morph or get adjusted with my rectangle. So in this case, the little bit of buffer which is there, you can see that this a little bit of the buffer. So this little bit of this is closer. So this little bit of negligent error will be much beneficial when I want to check with images, and that will be very useful in that situation. So I think this is pretty much what the game is all about, but I do not want it to end as no loop, but actually the original game ends like this. So I will just want to add an extra background of reddish like color. So in this case no loop is fine. Just stop everything and then just set the background to a reddish sort of color of a little bit of alpha. Okay, let's see this then. Okay, so this is like someone just died. When this looks more like that, so you can see that someone just died when I collided, and I should just add a text of again fill completely red and no stroke there. Text align center, text align center, that's fine. Text size 32 or more, even more than that, and then just a text called game over. For now, I mean, I will have the reset button which comes. I will definitely have the reset button. I will have score and high score. There are many things to go, but for this video to end, to draw a proper conclusion, this will be much better to just write game over there. So I will write game over at width divided by 2 and height divided by 2. So if I run this, I mean, I'm sure this should work. So I think this is better. Just a game over comes in front of you, you die, your thing is over. Now you need to refresh the page in order to play the game. So I mean, this is an underdeveloped kind of a T-Rex runner game. So I should just add the score. I will add the score before ending. So this is pretty much an underdeveloped T-Rex runner game. So as the game progresses, the color changes, it becomes a night and day scenario, the speed increases, more flying dinosaurs come into existence, and many more things happen. You will see that the frequency of the cactuses also increases. So many changes and optimizations happens in the game. So this is pretty much an underdeveloped and a quite easy game. So let's just add the score. So the score will be easy to have. So the score will just be the frame count basically. So in the very beginning, this should be at the end. So the score should display every time. So at the end, let's have fill a little bit blackish color 70 and no stroke again. No stroke. Let's have this entire code again. No, not the no loop. I like copy pasting as such because the redundant tasks are solved with relative ease. So this should be 16 and then the text will be just the frame count. I will need a score variable for now, but for now this is well and good. And this should be, let's say, what is the width? It is 750, I suppose, a 700. So this should be at 650 and this should be at 20. Okay, so you can see the score, not so much. So frame count divided by 3, 4 divided by 4, and round up the number, round of frame count. This is better. Okay, let's see this. So not that much as well. So this should be like 9. So this is, I think the number is fine. So this is pretty much a T-Rex runner game, and I should increase the speed just to make it for difficult for now. So the clouds, okay, the cactuses just go with the speed of velocity -7. So okay, so let's try to play this game once. Oh, I died. Okay, fine. So my high score is 88. So this is the end of the second part of the game. I've pretty much going ahead. I've pretty much near reached where I wanted to. In the next video, everyone, we are going to add the score reset button. I do not know what I'm going to do, and we are going to also add the sneak feature. We're going to probably use inheritance. I might have an object-oriented programming dedicated video before that. This is the pause, is the break of this game basically. I might talk about inheritance, I might talk about more stuff, and we're going to make a complete game out of this. So till then everyone, thanks for watching and goodbye.